Hello and welcome to the special partner episode of Scran, where we're looking forward to summer, and more specifically, Scotland's biggest gathering, the Royal Highland Show. Every year, more than 200,000 people visit the show in Ingliston, which has been running for more than 200 years now. Its popularity is testament to the huge amount of work and preparation that goes into putting on the show every year. I visited Ingliston to learn more about what it takes and what visitors can look forward to this year. First up, I chat to Kaye Adams, Chair Designate of the show. To say that it has been part of her life since she was born is an understatement. She's now risen up the ranks and in her current role is preparing for the top job. She tells me about her memories of the show growing up, its importance in the agriculture community calendar and how it's formed a significant part of her life.
It's a place where, within the agricultural community, it's in your diary, and as soon as you turn into the next year and it's January, preparation begins.
I also took a walk around the event site with Katrina Brown, competition manager for the show. Katrina is definitely a logistics person. Thousands of visitors, animals and exhibitors all need to be looked after, and that's part of her job. She fills me in on some of the tasks this includes and explains the sheer scale and effort of putting on a show of this size.
And it would be the day that you would come and they would walk you around the show and they would speak to so many people. And it used to be like, oh, they've stopped to speak to somebody else again. And now I think I can totally relate to that. I'm the same, I leave the office and it's like, oh, there's somebody I know, there's somebody I know.
Both Katrina and Kaye gave me a flavour of what can be expected this year for old and new visitors alike. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised by some of what's on offer. I'm joined by Kaye Adams, who's the Chair Designate of the Royal Highland Show Board. Hi Kaye, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Good, thank you. So we're here in one of the boardrooms in the house and it's lovely to see all the artwork and the history and quite a big part of the show when it's on. Before we go into all that, could you just tell us a little bit about your role with the show?
So I am a director for the Angus area. So in order to be a director, I'm a member of the society. And I've been on the board, this is my second stage of the role, and I've been on the board for 8 years now, plus, and I am now the Chair Designate of the show board. Up until that point, I was Chief Steward of Cattle Line Safety, I was Chief Steward of Young Farmers. So every director on the board gets a role to play at the show. Up until now, mine has mainly been within the livestock rings.
And what would that have entailed when that's what you were doing?
So a basic Royal Highland Show day for me is up early in the morning, go down to the cattle lines and we show the cattle on the first day of the show. The beef cattle get shown on the Thursday. So I'm basically in a judging ring all day stewarding, making sure that the judges' results are all up to date, making sure that the judge is enjoying himself and all the exhibitors are having a good time. After showing, we have one of the main and most exciting things of the Royal Highland Show is our Grand Parade, so I'm involved with that. And also in the evenings we have a Young Farmers Dance, and I used to be involved just making sure everything was running smoothly. All the Young Farmers competitions as well. So yes, it's a busy, busy time when it's Royal Highland Show week. As Chair Designate, I would imagine I won't be in as many show rings, but I'll be generally wandering around taking part in a lot more of the activities throughout the show week.
So you'll have more of like an overview this time round?
Yes, this June is going to be slightly different for me, and running up to the shows I have taken part in a lot of the different committees. So I'll be there to support our chairman, James Logan, this year.
Nice. And so you talked about Young Farmers. What is your earliest memory of the show?
So I have been a member of the society most of my life. I've only missed the show 2 years in my whole lifetime. So the show was a very, very important date in the diary for my family. My father was an exhibitor of cattle. I was born in March and my first show was June of the same year, so I was pushed around the show at an early age. Probably the first time showing an animal in the Grand Parade would be one of my great memories. I came through Young Farmers. I did all the Young Farmers competitions. I did the stock judging, and later on I then exhibited cattle and show rings. So it's a place where within the agricultural community, it's in your diary, and as soon as you turn into the next year and it's January, preparation begins.
So it's something that, you know, within that community people look forward to and prepare for throughout their life then?
It's one of the most important weeks of the year within the rural community, and friendships are made. Some people are even fortunate enough to find their partners at the Highland Show. Growing up, it's where memories, I mean, I used to sit in the pavilion with my grandmother as a youngster and sit and watch the Grand Parade where mum and dad were out looking at stands or socialising. Some years it's just where you meet somebody for once a year, but you meet them at the Highland Show. I catch up with all my old college pals. It's so important that we have that week of gathering of the community.
And it's obviously been a huge part of your life. What is it like now watching the next generation come through?
It's exciting because I have 2 boys. They're young farmers. It's exciting for them. I see them coming through. One takes the caravan for the week, and I, as part of the directorship here at the Society, I just want the next generation to have the fun and the gathering of laughter and parties at the Highland Show that we all had when I was growing up. So it's really important that we make the future for the next generation to come forward. And one of my great delights is the young handling competitions, and I've been really involved with the beef young handlers here at the show. And that's the next generation of our exhibitors. So it's really enjoyable seeing the next generation coming along. And young farmers is where many of us start. So if we look after the young farmers, I think the show will always be a place for them to gather.
And yes, you've mentioned the social aspect there as well. Is that obviously continued on? Do you see it being the same for them as it was for you when you were young?
Slightly different. In my day, there was no Snapchat. There was no photographs, no mobile phones, and our parents couldn't track us or know where we were. But yes, I do see a lot of similarities with my 2 boys coming forward and the same enjoyment. My eldest son did the stock judging competition exactly the same as when I was young I did it, and I could see the same nerves and enjoyment coming through when they did well.
And so it's obviously, you know, we hear it's a big thing for you and your family and the rural community. For people who are not part of that community listening and they're bringing their kids to the show, what would you say to them about coming?
It's a great day out for everybody from the family. I mean, this show this year on Sunday is Father's Day, so who does not want to bring their father to the Royal Highland Show for a day out? I love watching the youngsters come in from the non-rural backgrounds, come into the showground, come into the exhibition hall and be up and close with the animals, touch the lambs, get the smell of the cattle, see the cows getting milked, see all the horses parading around, the jumping. Where else can you come 20 minutes out of the town and see all that up and close, and the tractors and the innovation that we have, the new innovation awards that we have. And then we have the livestock, and we also have forestry. We've got everything. There's something here for everybody. And if you're bringing your dad on Father's Day on the Sunday and he's needing a new car, fine opportunity for him to go car shopping as well.
I mean, my dad literally does need a new car, so I might be doing that. So, yeah, I mean, there'll be a lot of kids from cities who have never seen a cow or a horse, you know, so that, you know, you've got the farming community who it's their life, and then you've got the kids in cities who think, I've never even seen a cow, like, so it must be a right mix of that going on.
So it's really important that the kids who haven't had that experience come out to the Highland Show and see where their food comes from. You know, we have Royal Highland Education Trust. We have a marquee, a big shed that is all about teaching where your food comes from. And we have a massive food hall. Very, very high quality food and drink, and it's good for everybody to come and even have a taste of things that they've maybe not tried before.
Yeah, when we've been in the past, that's been my favourite bit, going around tasting all the food. How is this year's show shaping up?
It's shaping up good at the moment. We are busy organising. We've had a lot of committee meetings, so we go forward now organising, for instance, the livestock schedules are getting done this now. We have the trade stands are open for exhibitors, and just finalising a few points. Judges are all chosen, and it's just start of the build-up, sponsorship. Anybody who wishes to have an involvement with the show and their sponsorship, now's the time to get involved. So it's all looking very good. We just need some nice weather for the week of June.
Yeah, fingers crossed. And how do you go about with the judges? Is that like on a rotation, or how do you guys go about picking them?
So judges are, to judge at the Highland Show, it's the pinnacle of most judges' careers. It's a massive opportunity, and they come through from the breed societies. They're recommended, they're on judges' panels, and then the overall judges, we choose them from our internal committees. So to judge the overall championship at the Royal Highland Show is a very, very special occasion for our judges.
What would you say is like the overall things that visitors look forward to most?
I think a lot of our visitors look forward to our grand parade of animals, which takes place in the main ring. That's livestock and equine go around that main ring. For a 3-year-old kiddie looking at a massive bull, that's a memory that's going to stick with them for the rest of their days. But there's so much more. The show has a lot to offer for the young farmers, the socialising that they have, to meet up with friends. We have a members' pavilion that we catch up with your friends and like-minded people that all have the same interest, and we all come together. So it's good.
So it sounds like it's one to look forward to.
Definitely should be on everybody's calendar for the 18th of June.
And when it comes to your role and potentially being chair, how will that work?
So I'm chair designate this now of the Royal Highland Show Board. So we have a chairman this now, and I will support him in his role. The role is for 2 years. So in July we have a change of board, and I could well be the next chair of the Royal Highland Show Board.
We'll see what happens.
Well,
best of luck.
Thank you.
So you mentioned that you're up in Forfar and you come down for this. So what is your life like outside the Royal Highland Show?
So I'm a farmer. I farm in partnership with my husband and our 2 sons, and we're a mixed farm. So we have about 100 pedigree cows, we have about 700 sheep and arable. But we also have a hen shed, so I have 32,000 free-range hens, which has just come about in the last couple of years. So that's my project, and I enjoy it very much, but I enjoy getting a day away, coming down to Ingliston and having my meetings. So I've gathered up a lot of information from other people on the board regarding agricultural businesses, so it's been helpful to me as a farmer to be part of the Royal Highland Show Board.
And you mentioned when you all come together during the Royal Highland Show, there's people you maybe don't see until, the show. What is it you think will be the main talking points when you all come together this year?
It's important that we all come together. It's important because lots of people are working alone within agriculture. So I think it's important that we do get that time together. And it was important for me to catch up with my friends. The chat in my era, this now the age that I'm at with 2 boys coming along, succession planning is always, when are you going to retire, or what's the kids up to? So succession planning is always very important within agriculture, and it's always a hot topic. In my line of work this now, bird flu is quite a hot topic, and it's been very disruptive lately. So my main thing is that people get away from their day-to-day jobs, come down to Ingliston and enjoy a chat. And if there's something bothering them, a chat is always good with friends.
Yeah, no, it sounds like it's a good support network as well. It's quite fun.
We have some great agricultural charities, and RSABI is a strong charity that we have, along with Farmstrong, that has stands here at the show. So if anybody coming to the show needs to chat, there's opportunities.
So I know quite a lot of people that are looking forward to June and they're coming along. Am I right in saying that kids go free?
Yeah, kids 15 and under go free, and we also have a family ticket on the Sunday at a discounted rate for families. So it's a great opportunity to get everybody along to the show.
Yep, and see the Grand Parade.
Special event, and once seen, never forgotten.
And if my dad's listening to this, we might get you a new car finally.
No problem. Special price.
Well, thank you very much for your time, and I'm looking forward to the summer.
Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you at the show in June.
I'm joined by Katrina Brown, the competition manager at the Royal Highland Show. Hi Katrina, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks for having me on.
Well, thanks for your time. So we are going to go for a little wander around the showground and talk about different spaces. Off we go. So we're in January into 2026. What are you working on just now and how is the show shaping up for this year?
So our main focus right now is about trying to get everything prepared to open the entries. So that'll be our entries for all of livestock, equine, shearing, our other competitions, things like honey, dairy, which will all open sort of mid-March time. So we're just working through making any changes, adding a few new sections, and then they'll all be ready for exhibitors to start entering.
And how long have you been doing the role and what does it mainly entail?
So I've been here full time for, this will be my 4th show. I did do a bit of sort of temporary work before that while I was at uni in the summer. So I've worked quite a few shows now. Every year is different, but the main thing for our team is getting all the competitions sorted, getting the entries in, the livestock, the horses, all other exhibits onto site, coordinating sort of judging and the spectacle for the public, really.
What is your earliest memory of the show? Have you been coming here for a long time?
Yes, my earliest memory will be a long, long time ago. I've probably been almost every year since I was born. It's always been a big part of our family summer. Probably the thing that I remember the most, which a lot of other people can probably relate to, is coming as a child with your parents, and it would be the day that you would come and they would walk you around the show and they would speak to so many people, and it used to be like, oh, they've stopped to speak to somebody else again. And now I think I can totally relate to that. I'm the same. I leave the office and it's like, oh, there's somebody I know, there's somebody I know. And so I think it's weird how it goes full circle, isn't it? And then eventually that's kind of how everybody ends up.
Yeah. And you're from a farming background, is that right?
Yeah, so I've grown up on a farm, which I've still got quite a lot of involvement at home as well. So I still live on our farm at home in the borders at the moment and sort of travel up and down from there. So I get a bit of both. I'm in the office, but I've also still got a bit of involvement with the farm.
We'll stop by the East Bridge into the main ring. So do you want to tell us what surrounds us?
Yeah, so for anybody who's exhibited or has been sort of involved in showing, you'd recognise this area as the way that you'd come into the main ring with heavy horses, cattle for the Grand Parade that takes place in the ring. For others that have maybe visited the show and have had less involvement in livestock, a lot of the major trade stands around about this area, so there's a lot of the supermarkets who all have hugely interactive trade stands, great place for families to go and pick up some activities. The main ring has got a packed timetable, there's things going on in it all day, every day. Some of the probably big highlights is there's a lot of the show jumping classes, the light horse showing classes, heavy horse showing classes, and then over the weekend we have on the Saturday and Sunday afternoons the Grand Parade, which is a parade of the best livestock and horses that we have on site, which is impressive. It's a real spectacle, something that I'd recommend seeing.
And then over, I can sort of see some looks like warehouse buildings. Is that, am I right in saying that's where the sort of foods, if people want to go in and see like the food producers and things, is that right over there?
So to the right we've got what is Scotland's larder during the show. So it's the food hall, which has many stands, all sort of the best produce of Scotland, massive variation, food, drink, all sorts. Another good spot for some free samples. And then the building in front of us is the Highland Hall, so that's the building that all the cows go in during the show. So we'll have about 800 cows in there come the middle of June.
I take it you've always had these permanent buildings, or have they been built in the last?
So the Highland Hall was built in early 2000s, I think it was first opened. It's always kind of been the area for livestock, but then the full building was put up.
Yeah, the press office was above the cow bit a couple of years ago.
It's still up
You
there.
could see all the what was going on.
The windows that you can see there, we move our office down to there for June, just so that we're in the middle of it all, yeah. And it gives sort of all of our exhibitors a base to come and see us and ask questions.
So the space is used for other things throughout the year, but when does the actual build start for the Royal Highland Show?
So actually it all springs up surprisingly quickly. There's normally sort of events up until the very end of May, and then at the beginning of June the build will start, which it gives us 2 full weeks, and then we're into show week. So it's amazing. It goes from an empty site to a full showground in no time, really.
So it sounds like a huge operation. How logistically does it work? And, a lot of people, a lot of animals, how do you accommodate them all?
Yeah, so we have about 5,000 entries between all the different competitions, and it's about 2,500 different exhibitors, which is a massive task. We bring in sort of a few extra people to work in our team the months just leading up to the show to just give us a bit of extra support. But I think there's a lot of repeat people that come back year on year, and it's a really tight-knit community. The whole farming community will help each other out when they're first sort of coming to the show. If you're a new exhibitor, you're going to be supported by other people, and so we just try and give people all the information they need in advance, but we're always on the end of the phone. We can answer questions, make it all work, and on top of sort of our core team, we bring in about 250 volunteers who come in and steward. So they come and help us on the days of the competition. So they'll be there helping getting the right animals into the ring, writing down the results, all that sort of thing. And I think, again, it's the whole tight-knit farming community. People are really keen to be involved and want to help, which is a great position for us to be in, really.
And how many people do you usually expect over the course of the weekend?
So we'll have about 55,000 people a day, and sort of about 220,000 across the 4 days will come and visit.
So we're standing in front of the McRobert Theatre. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what goes on here?
Yeah, so this is our building where all the sheep shearing competitions take place. So we have shearing for 3 days across the show with a number of different competitions, and it all takes place down here. So the stage all gets polished up and the competitors are up on the stage, and we sort of bring sheep in round the back. It's a massive logistical task as well.
And this might be a daft question. We're right near Edinburgh Airport. We've just actually seen a plane land. Does that bother? Does the noise or anything bother any of the animals, or is everyone totally fine?
Not particularly, no. I think the animals that are sort of coming to the show are used to going out places and going to shows and the hustle and bustle, so it's another day out for them, really.
A socialising event.
Yeah.
So we can also see a big large open space of grass, which is currently empty, but it won't be in a few months. So what goes here?
So this is our sheep area. So we put up 4 major marquees which house all the sheep, with the sheep rings in the middle. So by the sort of middle of June, the marquees will be up. We build sheep pens within the marquees, and then just over 2,000 sheep descend on us and stay here for 4 or 5 days.
So we're walking towards what would be the countryside area. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what people can find over here?
Yeah, so there's a massive amount that goes on in the countryside area. I think it's a fantastic place, especially if you've got kids and they're sort of coming for a family day out. Some of the highlights, probably, there's the honey marquee. So we run a honey competition alongside the Scottish Beekeepers Association, and they sort of man the marquee for the show for us. They put a massive amount of work into it. They bring sort of display items, they have honey tasting, they have candle rolling. It's a great place to go if you want to sort of learn about something slightly different. There's also the goat marquee. It's good. We have a goat competition, so we have about just over 100 goats, and they'll be there for the 4 days of the show and will be shown in the ring in front of the marquee. There's also the countryside arena, so there's a number of demos throughout the show. There's kind of everything from fly fishing type things, working dogs, a massive variation which run across all days, and that's kind of quite a nice area if you want a little break, if you want to sit down, have a watch and see what's going on.
And there's also, it's not here, but there's kind of unexpected things we noticed a few years ago, like blacksmith and things, and all the tractors.
Yeah, so there's so much. You couldn't even possibly try and get everything that's going on into one podcast. We've got the farriery competition, so that's over in the forge, which is sort of farriers and blacksmiths competing horseshoeing. Then once you go sort of up into the trade stand area, there's a massive variation of machinery. You can see kind of any and every type of machinery that you want to. That's kind of the area where there's a lot of business done. A lot of people come like looking to buy new machinery or find out a bit more about it.
And is there a theme for this year?
So the big push for this year is about making it family friendly, specifically on the Sunday. So making it a family day that's good for both the urban audience and the rural audience, and trying to encourage people to come, bring their kids, get their kids involved, learn a bit about agriculture and about what's going on.
And is there anything in particular that you look forward to?
I think a big highlight for me is once all the judging starts, our office during the show looks down onto the cattle rings, and on the Thursday morning, once you see some of the cows in the ring, it's quite a good feeling. It feels like it's all happening and lots of happy faces.
Lots of happy cows.
Yeah.
So we're here by a pond. Can you tell us what goes on here?
Yeah, so this is, we call it the Loch-in. It's in the middle of the countryside area. Anybody that's been during the show might think of it as the area with the canoes. So there's some canoes that come in and are situated here for the show, and you can come and have a go. Another good family activity.
Has anyone ever fallen in?
Not that I'm aware of, but I'm sure the potential is there. First for everything, I'm sure.
So imagine you're working quite long hours in the lead up to this. Does everyone get a decent amount of time off afterwards?
Yeah, we try and sort of, once we've got the break done, got rid of all the animals, that's always the task on the Monday after the show, is to make sure everybody's left with all the animals they came with. So once we're kind of through all of that, we try and all have a bit of a break at some point in July and recharge. It does take a few weeks to get back to normal.
And when does it all start up again?
So we start pretty early. We've actually got some plans in place for 2027 already. So all the judges for the competitions have all been invited for 2027. So we do sort of the debrief after the show. There's things like prize money, results, trophies, things like that we do in kind of July and August. And then come September, we really hit the ground running with the following year, and some things for sort of 2 years in advance. So it's a constant cycle. It never really stops or starts.
So you're not like Glastonbury then? You don't have a fallow year despite being a rural community get together?
No, we keep going. I think if we did have a year off, we wouldn't know what to do with ourselves, and it'd be the whole how'd you go again. I think during COVID in 2020 it really showed the show was really missed by sort of the whole community, and I don't think it'd be popular if we suggested a year off every so often.
Well, thank you very much for your time. It's been lovely to see it like this before it all kicks off.
Thank you.
Thanks to Katrina and Kaye for being my guests on this episode, and thanks to you too for listening. Please remember to rate, review and subscribe so you never miss an episode of Scran. We'll be checking in with the team again soon, but remember, the Royal Highland Show takes place from Thursday the 18th to Sunday the 21st of June. Early bird tickets are on sale now up until late April. And a new family ticket is also available this year, which gives parents 20% off the standard entry fee. And don't forget, children 15 and under go free every day. We'll see you there. Scran is co-produced and hosted by me, Rosalind, and co-produced, edited and mixed by Kelly Crichton.